Hello everybody, my name is Delson Gamer, and welcome back to another reaction of Delson Gamer. Today we have Jonny versus Sonic CD. Sonic CD was a really good game that actually, I prefer playing the Japanese because the version, or European, because they have both the same music and they have really good soundtrack. The USA, I don't like it. I mean, it kind of lasts, but still. Even actually Metal Sonic from the start, that Speedway from the when you battle him from the USA version, it actually is a remix from Sonic Forces. I didn't realize it was like, you know. But anyway, we are about to react this. Leave a like, comment, support me, and leaving a notification on. And let's get started, shall we?
Everything I'm going to do, but that's not going to help you since I know everything you're going to do.
Strange, isn't it? Yeah. Sonic CD.
While Sonic the Hedgehog 2 was being developed here in America, another Sonic game was simultaneously being produced back in Japan for the Sega CD, the graveyard of FMV games. The final result would be one of the only games actually playable on the system, Sonic CD. Now, I actually don't own a Sega CD myself, so instead I asked my Uncle Greg to lend me a hand this time. This is the JVC-XI. It's a system that's both a Sega Genesis and a Sega CD. It originally retailed for over $500 when it was first released, so I won't even begin to imagine what my uncle paid for just to get this. Now you're probably thinking, well, why don't you just review it off the Sonic Gems collection? Well, I like to be as authentic as possible. Plus, controlling Sonic with the Genesis controller just feels better than using a GameCube controller. In this game, we're introduced to two more staple characters of the franchise, Metal Sonic and Amy Rose, which the manual mistakenly refers to as Princess Sally from the Sad AM series. How did they screw that up? They look nothing alike.
Yeah.
Well, actually, this could explain where Amy would later develop her color blindness. She got it from the goddamn makers of this game. And lo and behold, this is probably the only game which you can actually tolerate her, and it's all because she doesn't talk. She just follows you and occasionally hugs you, and even then it's only on the first stage. Metal Sonic will go on to be one of the most popular villains in the franchise, which is odd, because I didn't think he left that much of an impression. You can't even maneuver over a solid wall. Sonic CD as a whole definitely shows what the Sega CD is capable of. The graphics are eons more colorful than anything on the Genesis, and the sound quality is top-notch as well. But to be perfectly honest, I think the level designs are absolute shit, and sometimes the color palette can be a bit too loud. How can you play levels like this and not get dizzy? I'll give the developers props for trying to have this game stick out from the rest, but I think they may have overdone it in a few zones. In addition to having a louder color palette, the series also has for the first time CD quality music. Take this intro song, Sonic Boom. It's a pretty nice song.
Sonic Warrior, Sonic Warrior, Sonic Warrior.
What the hell are you singing?
Oh, I'm just singing the intro song for Sonic CD. You Can Do Anything, or Toot Toot Sonic Warrior.
Toot Toot Sonic... Dude, Sonic Boom is the intro song, not this Toot Toot shit you're singing.
Well, you see, what happened is that both games got separate soundtracks between the Japanese release and the US release. Both soundtracks are fine, but they got separate theme songs. I don't know why. I guess they didn't think Americans would like a song that goes Toot Toot Sonic Warrior.
Yeah.
In terms of gameplay, it's your usual Sonic gig. Although this time when Sonic picks up a lot of speed, the camera veers to the left, allowing you to see more of what's ahead of Sonic, so it's harder to run into things accidentally. The spin dash makes a return, though its timing is slightly different. In Sonic 2, as you started winding up the spin dash, you could immediately let go and get some instant speed. However, in this game, you have to wait until the charge finishes completely before you can take off. If you don't, Sonic will act as if he never performed the spin dash at all and just stand there like a moron. The spin dash is fast, don't get me wrong, but its quick start is gone. But maybe that was done on purpose to put in favor of Sonic's new move, the Super Peel Out. Performing it is just like performing the spin dash, only instead of holding down, you hold up. Sonic will wind up his feet creating a figure 8, and blast off with great speed. Unlike the spin dash, you don't have to wait until it's charged up completely, which makes it a bit more preferable. Don't get too used to it though, because this is the only console game where it makes its appearance. It does make a return in some of the Game Gear titles, but after this game it's never brought back.
However, the biggest aspect of this game is the use of time travel. Scattered throughout each stage are posts that read past and future. When you route out past one of them, Sonic will begin to leave a trail of sparks whenever he speeds up. If you manage to maintain a high speed, Sonic will travel in time according to which post he touched. The level design and mood reflects what time period you're in. If you're in the past, it's rather primitive and a bit more wild, while the future is usually desolate and empty. However, by traveling back into the past and destroying this specific machine, not only will it wipe out every bad thing in the level, but but it allows to create a good future in which animals roam free and the environment is bright and
I did
cheery.
it from the mobile by Christian Whitehead.
In order to
He
get the
actually
good ending,
did
you
it
need to
in
create
the
good
app,
futures
and
for
it's
each
really
specific
awesome.
zone.
But the controls
However,
for
if
the
constant time
mobile,
traveling is not your sort of thing, you can try another method.
so I did it
Collecting the
without
time
actually,
stones,
but it
pretty
crashed
much
from
this
my
game's
game
equivalent to
and it
Chaos
crashed
Emeralds.
anyway every time.
Like Sonic 1, you'll need to earn at least 50 rings to jump into the giant ring at the end of an act. In these special stages, you need to control Sonic through incredibly trippy areas and destroy UFOs. If you touch any water, you'll waste lots of time, and there's plenty of crap to make sure you don't finish the stage at all. Okay, what were these people thinking when they were creating the concepts for these special stages? I mean, look at this.
When you destroy all the UFOs, you're rewarded with a time stone. If you manage to collect them all, it automatically creates good futures for every zone and guarantees you the good ending. However, because they're time stones and not Chaos Emeralds, collecting all of them won't grant you the ability to become supersonic.
Dr. Robotnik's boss battles are also a lot more gimmicky this time. The boss fights aren't so much as hitting Robotnik a certain amount of times, but being able to actually hit him at all. Take this boss fight for instance. In order to beat Robotnik, you need to wear down his machine by constantly running on the treadmill, which will set his machine
played
apart
from
if
the
you manage
demo
to keep your speed
version
up.
from
To be honest, I actually
Christian
really
Whitehead,
like
was
this
that?
approach to Robotnik boss
I don't
battles,
know,
and
but it
wish
was
fights like
like
this
a
would return
demo
in future
that actually
Sonic
you only
games.
play
Then,
three
of course, there's
stages.
the Metal Sonic race sequence, which is what most people remember. This type of fight also needs to return. I mean, hell, Sonic is all about speed and platforming. He could use more bosses like this. Like I said, the level designs are all over the place in this game, but some of them are actually very fun to travel through. Palm Tree Panic.
Just imagine Green Hill Zone on crack, and you get this zone. There are loads of springs all over the place and plenty of different routes. It's a great starting level.
Collision Chaos. Chaos is correct. Not only is this zone pink, but there's all kinds of obstacles and other things that'll send Sonic back in the opposite direction. It can almost make you sick. This is also where Amy gets kidnapped by Metal Sonic. Title Tempest.
Remember Labyrinth Zone? This is it on steroids. You'll spend 80% of your time in water, so make sure you know what you're doing and grab some air bubbles whenever you spot them.
Quartz Quadrant.
I can never exactly figure out the theme to this level. Some say it's a mining level, but I get more of a scrap brain zone feel with the conveyor belts and the cramped spaces. It's actually not too bad of a level, so you can breeze through it pretty quickly.
Wacky Workbench. Ugh, I hate this level. You'll be bouncing more than a crack addict on a trampoline. They really went overboard trying to make this level as gimmicky as possible. It's not that bad, but don't play this level in the dark unless you want a massive headache at the end of the game. I was frozen today! Stardust Speedway.
It's like Starlight Zone, only more starry and speedy. Again, another level I think they overdid in terms of level design, but as a whole it's actually pretty dang easy.
At the end is where we race Metal Sonic, in which you need to get through the specific point before he does. While you're racing, Robotnik will constantly be on your tail with his instant kill laser that murders you even if you have rings. Though, why didn't he use that since the beginning?
After beating Metal Sonic, we rescue Amy. Huzzah! Metallic Madness, the final zone of the game, and surprisingly it's not very hard, just long.
I have a really
There's
good
one
music
particular
from the
part you'll probably
Japanese.
get stuck in because your jump isn't high enough to reach the next area, and the other section is closed off. It turns out that the slow-moving column will actually bounce Sonic high enough to reach the next area. Well, how the hell does that work? You're seriously telling me that this column is capable of launching Sonic that high at its current speed? This complete disregard of physics angers me. The final boss is pathetic. Well, after the first hit anyway. I think it's impossible to hit Robotnik the first time without actually losing rings. Even Sonic Retro agrees with that. So, yeah, don't get used to having a lot of rings.
Like the previous games, you can also enter a cheat code to enter a level select screen, or a sound test. If you put in certain numbers in the sound test, you can actually get some secret images. Hey look, I guess Sonic was trying to appear in Dragon Ball Z after all.
Completely weird and creepy.
Good lord, this is what the Warthog should have looked like.
Aw, chibi Sonic.
That's adorable.
A bit too cute.
Sonic has gray eyes.
Looks like an advertisement for Toyota.
See you in
Well, it says it's
Sonic
Toyota.
Fuck that.
See you next game. Why weren't you in Sonic CD, you lazy bastard? God, it's
Oh,
Mario
sweet
and Sonic
Jesus, what the
combined
fuck is that?
together. Evil spawn of Satan.
My eyes! It burns!
Oh my god, it's
Sonic's
ugly.
king, so yo. He's an awesome and rad and all that bullshit.
The fastest DJ alive. Mix Sonic.
That's MC Sonic, Elliot. Sonic CD in the end didn't sell many copies, and it's certainly not the game's fault. It was the overall suckiness of the Sega CD that did it in. Sega would soon learn from this and have future Sonic games released strictly for the Sega Genesis, you know, the more popular system. It would eventually be re-released as part of the Sonic Gems collection, which was actually based off the PC port of the game, packed with higher quality cutscenes and faster loading times. Overall, Sonic CD is pretty much one of the best games on the Sega CD. But comparing it to other Sonic games, well, I like the boss concepts, the super peel-out move, and the music, but the level design is just all over the place. And the colors can be the equivalent of someone puking up their Fruit Loops and rearranging it to look like loops and slopes. But bad level design aside, it's still a great Sonic game, and I recommend you try it out. It's definitely out there. We'll give this game an 8.5 out of 10. And yes, I know I'm going to piss a lot of people off by ranking this lower than Sonic 1, but honestly, that's just how it ranks with me. All I can say is play the game and judge for yourself.
I'm out of here.
The fuck? That's my same reaction, Johnny. Anyway, that's the end of Sonic and CD, one of my favorite games from Sonic. You know, I know like the soundtrack for it. They have different soundtracks like in the USA, Japanese, and European. I prefer actually go to the soundtrack Japanese. It's one of the actually best Sonic soundtrack forever. But I wish that they actually added just Metal Sonic Forces to get the Japanese, like the actual song, like the Bad Future. Anyway, that's the end of my video. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to my channel and leave a notification. Don't miss any video. Support my comment. And tomorrow or in the night, I will actually do a reaction. I will tell you. I will tell you later from, in the night. So this is Delson. I'm out of here.